So Magic is a card game that involves two players or more having a deck of cards that they make, and you pit them against each other, and there's like creatures, and there's like magical spells, and there's enchantments, and all these come together in order to beat the crap out of your opponent. So the creatures are your main source of dealing damage. Each player starts with 20 life points, and the first person to get the other player down to 0 wins.
So you have 20?
Yeah, there's 20 points, and like each creature has a certain value in terms of attack and defense. So, like for example, this guy here, the left number right here is his attack stat. So that's how much damage he can do to a player, and that the right number right here is its health. So that's how much damage it can take before it dies.
Okay.
So like that's its durability.
So it only could take 2?
You're right. It can deal 2 and it can take 2 before it gets killed. So
what's like the best, like
the best what
card like with the best damage? Is
oh man, I mean there's so many
different ones.
Magic has been out for longer than we've been alive.
Really?
Yeah, it's been out since like early '93.
So
it's literally it's literally older than we are.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cards. I mean there's tons of different ways to play. There's tons of different ways to win. You don't have to win just from getting their life down.
Yeah.
You can win from taking their deck and putting it in their graveyard using certain cards. Yeah, it's called milling, where like you take normally.
So someone could just do that the whole time. Really?
You could just be like, boom, I'm bringing cards in your graveyard using other cards' effects. Yeah. And that's one way of getting it down. So there's tons of different ways to play.
All right. So so let's get started.
So
I just
here,
use this one or
here I will. For now, I'll let you use this guy right here. So there's a couple things you need to know before we play. You need, in order to play your cards, you need lands. And what lands are, it's sort of like the currency that you use to play the cards. So like, remember that guy I showed you, this dude?
Yeah.
You see this, these symbols in the top right corner?
Oh, you need that.
That's the cost. The cost here is 1 plane, specifically the white.
So you
land,
need that.
You need at least 1.
To play it.
And then 1 of any color. That's what the gray number means. So this card needs 1 planes and 2 more lands of any color to play. So for example, if I had these 3 out, I could play either one of these 2 because I have at least 1 planes and 1 of any color. It could even be another planes if you want. It doesn't matter as long as you have the 1. Okay?
Alright.
And we each take turns playing, and each turn you have a couple steps where you draw a card. If you untap your cards, and we'll get to that in a little bit, and then you have a part where you play your cards, and then you have a part where you attack with your creatures, and then you have another part where you play more cards if you want, and then you pass the turn. So, I know it's kind of complicated, but we'll just walk you through. So, I'm going to help Abdullah, or I guess I'll call you Shaka. I'm going to help Shaka learn how to play Magic. So, in order to do that, this is his hand, I'm just going to be playing with it. He's going to go first. So when you go first, normally you draw a card at the start of your turn every turn. Yeah. But since you're going first, you have the advantage, so you're not going to draw a card. That's just how it works. The first thing you do is you choose one of your lands, you play it on the board.
Choose a land.
And you can only play 1 land a turn. So you can't just like unload all your lands out. So that makes it so that you have to build up to your cards. So and then you
strategy.
Exactly. You have to check your hand, and right now there's nothing you can play because everything costs more than 1 land's worth of mana. If that makes sense.
So I can't play him. He has 1.
He has 1 planes, right?
Oh, he has 1 plane.
But he also has the gray.
Yeah.
He costs 2 total.
Oh, okay.
Right now you only have 1, so that's your turn. There's nothing you can do. You pass it to me, and now it's my turn. And since I don't go first, I draw a card.
Let's see.
I'm going to play a land. I check my hand. I don't really have anything to play, so I pass the turn to you. You grab your cards.
Grab a
card. Okay.
Bam.
Oh, you drew another guy. So now you're going to play another land, a black land. So
land?
You have 1 white and 1 black you can use each turn.
Okay.
You can only use your land once a turn for each card.
And I can't put anything, or can I?
You can.
Yeah, I
See,
can
this
put
guy
one of
costs
these
2,
guys,
right? So what you do is you're tapping your land, which means that you're using it for the turn, and then you play the guy. Boom.
Oh.
Okay?
Alright, okay.
And now,
I see.
so now you want to attack me, right? But
I can't.
you can't right away.
What?
Creatures have to wait a turn before they can attack.
Oh, you have to wait one turn?
It's called summoning sickness. So basically that means you can't be really cheap and like attacking right away. There are effects that get around this, but for the most part, you have to wait a turn. So he's out. You can't attack with him. You have to pass the turn to me. So I'm going to go ahead and just draw a certain land. This is all for teaching. This isn't for cheating.
Yeah.
I'm getting this card so I can show you. I play a forest, which is green mana. You notice how each of the cards are colored, right?
Yeah, they're all colored.
All the cards that aren't lands that are colored will tell you what color you need to play them. So if it's white, it's going to need white.
It's going to need white.
So I tap 2. See, that's what you call when you're using your land for the turn. You call it tapping.
Tapping?
Yep. You tap it sideways. And that means you've used it. That signifies to the other player you've used it. So I play this guy. This is a creature. So sometimes creatures will have special abilities. So you just read the text here, and it says, when this guy enters the battlefield, which means I cast it, so it's happening right now. You read the effect, and you do the effect. So basically what he does is, I reveal the top 4 cards of my deck. I reveal them to you. I put a land card among them into my hand. This guy's a land.
Yeah.
And the rest go into my graveyard, which is like your discard pile.
Yeah,
you know how like some games have discard piles.
Graveyard.
So he can't attack. So I'm kind of stuck here, so I just pass the turn to you.
Yeah. So
untap your lands at the beginning. You always untap all your stuff.
Okay.
And then draw a card.
Yeah.
Bam.
Got it.
Okay, so right now, I'm gonna play another one of these lands.
Another land.
And you're gonna tap 3.
Tapping him.
For this guy, because he costs 3.
Okay.
Makes sense? And he's a defender. Specifically meaning that he can't attack, but he's good at taking hits. He's good at protecting you from
like a
our creatures.
Yeah.
And stuff. So our ramen's boiling.
Is it? Ramen's boiling. Or not the broth.
The broth of the ramen, which smells really fucking good.
Yeah, it does.
So we're gonna bring it down to like a simmer, really, really low heat, and we're gonna cover it. For 2 hours.
2 hours. Let's
Bam.
do it.
It smells really good.
It does. It smells hella good. I can't wait to eat the freaking ramen.
So back to the game.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically you see how this is playing out, where you build up an army of creatures. Sometimes you do other things. For now, since we have creatures, we're going to get into the action. So this is where you start being able to attack. So since this guy's been out for a full one of your turns, he can now attack. So in order to attack, you tap him sideways, and he's going straight for me all the time. Whenever you're attacking with a creature, they're always going straight towards me.
Oh, straight towards your health.
They're going straight. They're going straight.
So it's
for me.
not going.
It's not going to him, but
what?
I can block. Like, let's say he's trying to attack and he's trying to take me down to 18 health here. If I want to, I'm gonna be like, okay, I have this guy. He's not tapped, which means I can block with him and intercept.
Yeah.
I can intercept your attack, right?
Yeah.
So now he's attacking and he's blocking. This is when combat happens. This is where a lot of oh god, that sounds stupid. The magic happens.
I'm not tripping. I'm ready for the magic.
So these guys are gonna start hitting each other at the same time. He has 2 attack.
Yeah.
He has 1 attack. They both deal their damage at the same time, right? So he has 2. That's more than enough to kill this guy who has 1 health.
Okay.
He only has 1, so he survives the attack.
So right? I survive.
Because he has more than 1. So what happens is I block, he dies, but I don't take any damage because I blocked it.
Okay, so you can block, but your
creatures might die depending on how strong they are.
Okay.
And so this guy has 1 health right now. At the end of the turn, it goes back up to 2.
Okay, and do I have to tap it back up?
At the start of your next turn, that's when you untap everything, your creatures and your lands. So that was your turn. He goes back to 2 health. He's no longer at that 1, and I untap my stuff, and I take my turn.
And so I don't have to untap it until it's my turn.
Right. You don't untap until it's your turn. That way.
Sure.
Yeah. So I'm gonna play a land here.
Land.
And I'm kind of stuck here. I'm in a bad spot right now. I don't have much to play, so I'm just going to go ahead and pass the turn to you.
Oh, thank you.
And you go ahead before you draw. Untap all your stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Now, that means, see, now you see how your land is reusable.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you don't just use it for one turn. You can use it every turn. So go ahead and draw your card.
Let's see what I got.
Ooh, that's a good card.
Ooh.
That's another defender.
So I could put this down if I wanted to.
You could, but you always want to check and see if you got some lands to play, because almost always you want your lands out.
Want more lands than
so
anything?
we'll go ahead and I like to stack them so it's easier for me to do that. So now you have 4 out, right? Mm-hmm. Now check out your hand. You have 2 cards that cost 1 plains and 1 of anything. You can play both of these right now.
What?
Yep.
All right.
You just tap.
Tap.
Bam and bam. You got 2 more creatures out. So you're not limited to how many creatures you can play in a turn.
That's legit.
You're also not limited to how many creatures can be out. You can have as many as you can play.
Okay.
So right now, the only one you have that can attack is your previous Pride Mate here.
Because
he's been out for more than a turn. This guy you just played, so he's kind of sick. He's kind of queasy from coming out. So
I tap, I guess, and I
you're
attack
going
you.
All right. Bam, bam. I'm down to 18 life, by the way.
18 life? All right.
There's your life total right there. That symbol means 20. So
20? Okay.
I'm going to draw a card. And I'm going to shit my pants. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to play a land here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, every single land, when this guy is out, is also a black land.
It's also
as long as this land is out, all lands are also black, but they're still their original color.
Okay.
So that's pretty cool. You son of a bitch.
I'm gonna whoop you today.
Maybe. Alright, so I'm gonna play 4. I'm gonna tap 4 to play BAM! Paragon of the Eternal Wilds. Look at that son of a bitch.
He looks badass.
So it's a 2/2 creature, which means I can block.
Or is that a chick? Oh.
It is a chick.
Oh, no.
There are chicks in this game, if you can't tell by my playmats.
Yeah.